Welcome back, tribe, to another Heroes of Middle-earth video. Today we are going to be discussing the state of the game. What have we learned from the Adwen Marquee event? What have we learned from the latest announcements from CG? And the most important question that is on everybody's mind. Is this game dying? Let's break this down.
Scraps you, so give it up.
My dead body.
Alrighty, welcome back. First, I would like to apologise for my tardiness. I have unfortunately been a little bit under the weather lately, and I've been away from work, so I have been unable to push out the videos that I've wanted to create, and I deeply apologise for that. Very sorry. So I want to address the elephant in the room first and foremost, and that elephant would be, is this game dying? To paint a little picture for you guys, I play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That is CG's other sort of hero collector game, and that is based on Star Wars lore and the Star Wars universe. I've been playing that game since June 2018, so about 5 years, coming on to 5 years now, in about a week or two's time. And there are posts about that game dying since before I even started playing the game. It's been that game has been going live since December 2015. It's still here. It's still going very strong. Okay? This is a live service game. Heroes of Middle-earth is just like Galaxy of Heroes. They are live service games that are designed to develop over time. You don't get a game like this and boom, everything is available all at once immediately, because that would be A, incredibly overwhelming, and B, it would get stale very quickly. These games are designed to have long lifespans. We're talking about 5 years. Galaxy of Heroes has been going longer, obviously, and that's a bit of an anomaly as far as hero collectors and mobile games in general go. They don't tend to last this many years, but Star Wars and Lord of the Rings are both incredibly strong IPs. They have got a lot of backing, and they still have a lot of pop culture relevance. So with the concept of that in mind, is Heroes of Middle-earth failing? Is it dying? Guys, the game has had a global launch about 2.5 weeks ago. Can we just, chill for a moment? Put the brakes on? I appreciate that maybe there's not a heck of a lot to do in the game at this point. Maybe there's not, loads and loads of events and loads of new exciting stuff and loads of new game modes and large new scale PvP elements to the game. I get it, guys. I understand. I too come in and I'm like, I can get everything done that I need to do in this game in about 15 minutes, and then I can just log off and not worry about it for the rest of the day. Why do I bother? I get it. But I'm enjoying this new slow pace. If we compare this to Galaxy of Heroes at the moment, Galaxy of Heroes has got so much going on right now that it requires constant time investment. You have to log in 3-4 times a day. You've got to participate in constant raids. You've got to participate in TB activities that span a week or 2 weeks. Well, yeah, a week more or less. Then you've got conquest activities. That's 2 weeks of daily farming. That can take a long time if you do it properly. And that's outside of all your daily objectives and your arena climbs, your fleet climbs, and maybe you've got Grand Arena at the same time. Then you've got events that are coming around and all this thing and your galactic challenges and all this sort of business. That game is far more mature in the sense of it has had a lot of time to cook. It's had a lot of time to breathe. It's had a lot of time to develop into the beast it is today. Heroes of Middle-earth will reach that point. Eventually. It will. But can we just enjoy the simplicity for now? The fact that there's only 47 characters, not 247. You know, the fact that there's only a couple of daily objectives that you need to do. You just go in, you do your challenges, you do your arena climbs, you buy something from the supply store, you go in, maybe you spend your light side, your shadow energy, you do some guild campaign missions. It's easy, it can get done very quickly. So if you're worried about there being nothing to do, maybe just go in and log in and do your daily objectives every day, just to keep your account ticking over. And if that isn't enough for you, if that's either considered to be a waste of your time or you just don't enjoy it, then quit and come back later when the game is more mature. There's nothing wrong with that. Start a new account in 6 months' time when there's more in the game. It's better than, quitting the game for 6 months, coming back and picking up your old account and finding yourself at the very bottom of arena, impossible to climb because you are 6 months behind everybody else in the arena. If you create a new account in 6 months' time, you'll be able to jump straight up to the top of the arena. Well, maybe not straight up to the top, but you'll certainly be able to climb much further and give yourself an additional gem income that will help boost your account at a faster pace compared to your original account. Otherwise, just maintain your original account, do the very bare minimum that you have to, and just enjoy it for what it is. It's okay. I understand people's complaints. I understand the frustration. But ultimately, I think it's just a little bit too early to say that the game is dying. It has got a large backing from a very popular IP and a successful game company in CG. Have a little faith and just see how it goes. Otherwise, just close the door behind you and open it again when you are ready. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, next up I want to talk about the Adwen Marquee event that we had recently. It's just about coming to a close. I think we've got another day or two left on it. So those of you that have not hit level 30, 1 day and 4 hours at the time of this recording, those of you not yet hit level 30, maybe try and push for that. I got my 5-star unlock. It was a little bit cheaper than I originally portrayed in my video earlier, but that is because they released a $20 pack that gave 80 shards of Adwen, which is highly valuable compared to the drop rates that you get in the bonus store. I think it's 1,000 gems for a chance at shards of Adwen. This one over here. The other store item that was, I believe it was £20 for me, maybe $25 or something like that. Depends where in the world you got, was much better value as far as the number of shards that you got. And you got a little bit gear to take her up to gear 3 or 4 or something like that. So that really brought down the cost of getting her to 5 stars. So those of you that are going to whale, you could probably do it for about $80 to $100, depending on, how lucky you were with these shards, because obviously these drop rates were exactly as I said in my video before. You're most likely going to get 17, but I think the average worked out at about 18. I got very lucky actually, because I got a couple of 25s and a 29. So yeah, I took her up to gear 6. Currently, my opinions of Adwen is she's a good kick, she's a solid character, not currently meta-defining. She's not going to be replacing anybody in your prototypical teams at this point, but I do believe that once we get Eladan and once we get Elrond, she is obviously going to be part of the meta then, so not a bad character to have at all. With that being said, let's take a look at CG's most recent post about the month. Over here we have got Elf Month, welcome to Rivendell. So this month of June is going to be Elf Month. You can already see we've got our boy Elrond, we've got our girl Adwen, and that's Eladan there in the background. Lovely jubbly. So let's see what they're saying. Throughout the month of June, with the spotlight on various elvish characters straight from the stories of J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. You'll shortly be seeing the wonderful trio of Elrond, Adwen, and Eladan. This means that new elvish characters are released throughout the month and leads up to our first legendary event for the Elven ruler of Rivendell, Lord Elrond. What does this tell us, guys? We've had Adwen. She's about to finish in a couple of days' time. I expect Eladan to be, maybe not immediately after, but most likely the week after. Eladan's event is going to go live. Like, the way this is worded sounds like Elrond is going to be coming to us in the start of July. Basically, we've got this month to farm these characters. At the end of this month, our boy Elrond over here will be available, so we need to have our characters at 5 stars, our elves at 5 stars, and a decent gear level in order to unlock him in just a couple of weeks' time, 3 or 4 weeks' time, and he will be here. That is what this is implying. I would try and prioritize your farms around that if that's what you're going for. So Eladan is going to be coming soon, most likely in a week or 2, and I imagine it's most likely going to be very, very similar to the Adwen event. I firstly thought that it wasn't. Oh, let's claim our bonus energy. I firstly thought it wasn't because it said an adventure. It didn't say a marquee in their original announcement, but they did say in that post that it's going to be similar to the Adwen event. I thought it was going to be like Samwise Gamgee over here. So if you're looking to whale on Eladan, it's not necessary because you don't need him specifically for the Elrond event, but could be nice. What do we know? We know that you won't need to gear up additional characters for the marquee event. You don't. You just, the unlock for 3-star, you don't need anything. They give you the character, you just go through. The later tiers don't give you any additional shards, and you only need to use your own character. You are still provided with additional teams. This is great, because it means we don't have to worry about farming additional teams. You don't need to worry about getting the Dunedain. You don't need to worry about the Rangers getting geared up or other elves. You could just get Elladan, and he'll most likely have the same Marquee pack and the same Crystal Purchase pack to try and get him to that 5-star threshold. So I think we can quite safely say that if you want Elladan, you're most likely looking at another $80 to $100 if you want to push down that road. I imagine that Elladan is going to be a best in slot for the Elrond team. It just makes sense to me. They're not going to bring out a new Marquee, monetize this, and not have him be an ideal character for the squad. Secondly, just while we were touching on the fact that I think Elrond is coming in a month's time, we can also see in the store, there are still 28 days left of this Adwen purchase pack. I imagine in 28 days, we are well into the start of July. I imagine that when the Elladan pack comes out, it'll have a linked timer, and this will probably run for the first the week in which Elrond's event is live, because they want to incentivize people to say, hey guys, you might get lucky with these 1,000 gem purchases to get a full unlock of Adwen or of Elladan. Elrond event is live right now. If you miss out on this legendary, you're going to have to wait a couple of months, and you may drop in arenas. So I think we can safely say that Elrond is definitely coming probably the first week of July. Okay? So this pack almost proves it. 28 days is a long time to keep a pack active, because they're not going to keep that pack active after the Adwen event ends in a day. Why would they have it active? People are going to miss out on the bonuses of that Tier 5 and Tier 6 event. Okay, so moving back over to this announcement, what else could we see? Design perspective, the elves. We wanted the elves to be unique to other factions. We're looking, when looking into them, the main points we aim for, that elves are ageless, immortal, agile, skilled, and magical. They're trying to get the essence of elves. Like, honestly, this is just fluff, guys. Who cares? We knew elves were going to be agile, and yeah, they got magic. Yeah. And what? So let's talk about Elladan. This is probably the first official confirmation we have actually had of Elladan. I'm loving these stained glass windows motifs, by the way. They look really, really cool. So Elladan, one of the twin sons of Elrond, along with Elrohir, who is already farmable through guild campaign. I think it's 3-1. Very good character, actually. What we know about Elrohir from in-game is he is a tank. He has a close friendship with a number of factions, as well as, and helps out through their deeds in Middle-earth, etc., etc. Twin sons of Elrond, Elrohir, and Elladan were key in scouting ahead and helped prepare the way ahead for the Fellowship. That's probably another big hint. We've already seen data mines that Gimli and Legolas are both coming to the game. Legolas has his own leadership that helps with elves and with rangers, I believe. So yeah, prepare for that. Fellowship faction currently not in the game, but I'm confident that it will come very, very soon. Elladan will be joining his elven brethren as another character coming to Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth. Expect a character adventure similar to Adwen. Reminder, you'll need to be level 30 to access Elladan's adventure. They're still not calling it a Marquee, but they're saying it's similar to hers. So I don't know if it's going to be like Gamgee's or if it's going to be its own unique thing. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have details around his kit and adventure soon. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And then Elrond himself. He's got his own rig of power. Vilya is a powerful, immortal being. As Elrond, he commands the mighty Bruinen River, which he uses to protect Rivendell and its inhabitants. We saw Adwen use that in the Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the very first film there. We actually can see Elrond use it in game as well, a little AoE crashing down. It looks really cool, truth be told. Quite excited for that. He is a legendary character and the first to come to the game. Details on how to obtain him, his kit is coming soon. So, we can expect to see it. I still am fairly certain we're going to see this in the coming month. Now, what can I say, guys? Until we get full announcement about Elladan and how he is farmable, I wouldn't say push too incredibly heavy on your elves. I have been focusing on trying to get them up because I want to be prepared. I'm doing okay. My Elrohir is basically ready. I'm just farming shards now. I'm not investing the gear just yet. I have farmed him up to 5-star, just haven't actually hit that promote button. He's 139 out of 130. Leliel is closing in on 4 stars, so I'm going to need another big chunk. I think it's 130 shards additionally. Yes, here we go, Nadamiri. He's 64 out of 130. So we still got quite some ways to go on these two, but fortunately our calendar for the month does help us gain a couple of extra shards of these two hard node elves. it's okay. I'm relatively confident that I'll still be able to get the shards that I need before the end of the month, and I hope that you will as well. I would say just keep hard node farming everybody that you can. Try to plot it out. Make sure that you have got those 5 stars by the end of the month if you are really pushing for Elrond on his first release. If not, think long term. Add an extra 3 months to your farm and just slow farm these guys. Keep them in your mind, but don't necessarily drop any gear or anything on them until we know more. I think that's going to about do it. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Are you farming for Elrond? Are you enjoying the farm and how is it coming along? What is your opinion on the state of the game? Like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out and big love.